What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to Nerd Media, and Marvel Studios has officially concluded their Phase 5 of the MCU with their films. So in this video, I'm going to be ranking all of the MCU Phase 5 films that have released, from Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania up until Thunderbolts, just talking about all 6 of these movies and diving into my thoughts on each one. And we're going to be talking about all of that and more in this video, so if you're new to the channel, I'm Nerd Media. I talk about movies, TV shows, and comic books. Today we're talking Marvel and we're ranking the Phase 5 films. So with all that being said, don't forget to like and subscribe. And let's dive right into the ranking. Coming in at last place, or number 6, is going to be Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. This is one of my least favorite MCU films. If you saw my MCU ranking that I just posted, doing all the films from Thunderbolts up to Iron Man 1, this movie is in the bottom 5. It's not that enjoyable for me, and the significance and the reasoning for watching this movie just keeps going down and down as time goes, because this was supposed to be the big movie to introduce Kang, but now that's kind of useless and pointless, and it's really not that entertaining to watch him in that movie anymore either, knowing he gets defeated by Ant-Man. But I mean, I guess it has some good Kang moments in there along there. I mean, I think he has a good suit, but I think that's pretty much it. And overall, this film is just kind of all right, I guess, but it's definitely nowhere near the best, and it's in my bottom 5 for the MCU as a whole. Number 5 is going to go to the Marvels. Now, I actually don't think this is a bad movie. I think it's entertaining, I think it's fun, and I think that it's a really good time at the movies, but I just don't think it's overall a great Marvel movie. It's definitely a big step up from Captain Marvel, because you have Iman Vellani in there, you have a lot of fun moments. I think that it's that they definitely all have, like, Monica Rambeau, Captain Marvel, and Iman Vellani, all of them have a good dynamic together, and I really do enjoy that, and I enjoy seeing Kamala Khan's family all the time as well, so that was a big highlight, but it's definitely not the best MCU film. Definitely not the best one we've gotten, because we've gotten some real big bangers in Phase 5. And I think overall this movie is fun, but it's just not like that great. Number 4 is going to go to Captain America: Brave New World. This movie I think is not bad, but as I think about it more and more, it slightly goes down more for me. Just, I don't know. I really feel like the Falcon Winter Soldier should have been the first Sam Wilson film. They should have transformed that show into a movie in the first place. I think that that was a great story for Sam Wilson, and making John Walker and the Flag Smashers like the villain of the film, and having that play into it, and having Bucky in there, that would have worked perfectly. But instead, we get a sequel to The Incredible Hulk 15 years later, which I think is a little bit ridiculous. But I think it's a fine movie. It's fun, but it's definitely not the best, but it's definitely not the worst. It definitely has probably one of the biggest cases of reshoots that you can see in this film from any MCU movie, but overall, I really think this movie could have been better, but unfortunately, it just was probably the worst version, or one of the worst versions that it could have been. Number 3 is going to go to Deadpool and Wolverine. I'm due for a rewatch on this movie. I really think that I have overhated it the past few weeks, or the past few months, because it's definitely gone down for me as I've rewatched the movie more and more. But I definitely don't think it's as bad as my mind wants me to think, so I'm definitely going to have to rewatch this movie at some point. I don't think it would really change or shift on this list specifically, because I feel pretty good about the next 2 movies, but I definitely think that it'd probably go up in my overall MCU ranking. I'm due for a rewatch on this, but when I went to go see it, I loved it. I thought it was in top 10 MCU. I just really do love that we got to see Hugh Jackman back as Wolverine. We got to see all these really fun and worthy cameos that actually serve a purpose in the story, and we get just a fun time in a Marvel world, not in the MCU, but in just a Marvel world. I really think that it's just such a fun time. It was a really big hit and success for the MCU, regardless of what people think of it now. I personally think that I need a rewatch, but from what I remember, this movie was just so much fun and just had so many great fan servicey moments that really make you appreciate the fact that this movie was made by 3 best friends. Number 2 is going to go to Thunderbolts. Guys, I just got back from seeing this movie for the second time last night. This movie seriously is a perfect representation, and for MCU standards, of mental health. the way that they use the Void, the way that they use Sentry, maybe one of my favorite villains to date for the MCU, and just overall, maybe one of my favorite, maybe my favorite just in general for the multiverse saga that we've gotten so far. This team and their dynamic is so, so perfect, and I just love how they bounce off of each other. They really feel like they could be a team, which they are obviously now. And I just think that this movie does so much wonders for the MCU, really kind of solidifies the fact that the MCU can still make good movies. And I really think that this is a big win for the MCU, and it is such a fun time. Like, if you guys haven't seen it, go see it in theaters now. It is really, really just great to me, and I just love this movie. But yeah, coming at number one, to no surprise to anybody, the best Marvel Phase 5 movie for me is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. This is one of my favorite MCU films. It's in my top three. It is such a beautiful, emotional story for Rocket and the overall Guardians, kind of them learning their self worth and what they need to do for themselves, and how that comes full circle in this movie, and getting a beautiful ending to that trilogy, and getting one of the best MCU villains in the High Evolutionary. It's seriously just such a great movie and such a great send off for those characters that I really don't want to see them ever again in the MCU, is how perfect I think that the ending was. I'm fine with seeing Star Lord, I guess, but don't touch Rocket's new Guardians team. But I think overall this movie has some great humor that still lands 2 years later. I think it has some great action. It has the best MCU suits that we've gotten in the Guardians of the Galaxy suits. And I think that overall it's just such a great movie that I cannot see myself ever hating on. But guys, that's going to have to do it for my MCU Phase 5 ranking. I know this was kind of a rushed ranking, or at least it feels for me. I don't know if it will be for you guys, but there was a storm that just happened. Okay, I'm not even going to mention that. Ugh. But guys, that's gonna have to do it with my Phase 5 ranking for the MCU. We are now heading into Phase 6, which I think is probably going to be the biggest phase for Marvel and its multiverse saga, because we got Fantastic Four, Doomsday, we got Spider-Man 4, we got Secret Wars. That is all we know of Phase 6 so far. So we got a lot coming, and I think this is going to be one of this could go down. This phase could go down as one of the best phases for the MCU if it's done right. So I'm going to be making a video ranking all that stuff, obviously, when that phase concludes. But I'm also going to be posting some more rankings once Fantastic Four comes out, and we'll be talking about all that and more. But I want to hear from you guys. What is your ranking for Phase 5 of the MCU? Let me know in the comments down below, and where would you rank the films? And with all that being said, guys, if you stuck around this long, I appreciate it, and thank you so much. So like and subscribe, because I clearly said something you liked or you were just entertained. So with all that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.